What's going on, guys? Conviction 454 here. And before I begin the video, I just want to state that I am extremely tired right now. Like very, very tired. I didn't get any sleep at all last night. And today was actually my very first day working as an IT help desk technician at Venture HR Services, or Venture Employer Services. For those of you who don't really know much about them, they're the #1 PEO, private PEO organization in the country right now. And essentially they offer a plethora of services ranging from your back office services like payroll, benefits, things of that nature. They also offer technical services, IT services, stuff like hardware deployment, software development, things of that nature. And like I said already, today was my first day working there as an IT help desk technician. And I gotta say that today was a pretty good day. I got to speak with the CIO today. My direct supervisor couldn't be in today because she's on vacation for personal reasons. But essentially in this video I just wanted to talk about how my day went, what went on, and I may even include some clips towards the end in regards to some of the stuff that I worked with, some of the stuff that I did on my first day working as an IT help desk technician. So without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so this morning I woke up at about 7:30. I had to get at the office by 9 o'clock. I was given an immediate tour of the building, and after about a 15-20 minute tour I was shown to my cubicle. This is the first time I've ever had a cubicle, so it was definitely kind of sort of a breathtaking moment for me. Let me tell you, when you get your first office job, like the professionalism that you feel like as soon as you walk in is like a completely different level compared to if you just work like somewhere like retail, for example, or fast food or something like that. It really took me a while before I really I guess digested the fact that I'm working in an office now in a professional environment and making a pretty decent salary for the first time in my life at 23 years old. Anyways, back to what was going on in terms of my job duties. There was this really like dusty desktop that they had like underneath my cubicle, and there was like a bunch of cables like jumbled up all over the place. And when I looked at it, I was like, okay, I have 2 monitors and a desktop, but I also have a laptop. So the first thing I tried to do was plug in the desktop. There were 2 DisplayPort cables. There was a DisplayPort cable, well, 2 DisplayPort cables to USB Type B cables, that was my first time ever seeing a DisplayPort to USB Type B, or USB Type B to DisplayPort, whichever one. And so I plugged it into the computer, turned it on. I didn't know my username or password, and it was awkward because I also couldn't. I spent probably about 5-10 minutes trying to configure the desktop, and then the system administrator actually walked up to me and said, "Oh, don't worry about using that desktop. It's so old, and you don't really need to use it. Just focus on the laptop for now." And so I turned the laptop on and discovered that it hadn't been imaged yet. And so that was actually my very first assignment for that day, was to image the laptop. And so what I ended up doing was I took the laptop across the building and we took it to another region of the building that operated under an image server. And so essentially what I did was got the laptop, and the system administrator essentially showed me how to image the laptop through the imaging server. And so that was pretty much my first assignment, was to image the laptop. And so that just includes installing Windows drivers, the software suite that we used, but it was pretty basic bloatware applications like Teams, Outlook, things of that nature. And so that was the first thing that went on today. After that, I had a couple of meetings. There was the basic onboarding and orientation. I kind of did that for about an hour and a half, and then I went back to my cubicle, and I had to actually like finish setting up my workstation. So making sure if all the applications were installed, loading Outlook, getting Active Directory set up, getting my applications set up, things of that nature. A lot of basic stuff. Also, I had to get registered for payroll, of course, the ticketing system, and pretty much any of the other, basic technologies that the company uses on a daily basis. And so all that really took about, I'd say, from coming in to setting everything up, it took maybe a few hours at max. By the time I was finished with all of the basics, it was already like lunchtime, and so I decided to eat lunch. Lunch was okay. They kind of had like a it was actually a pretty impressive little kitchen area with a vending machine, soda machine, a sink to wash dishes and stuff like that. So I ate, had a lunch for about an hour. And then after that, after lunch, I was actually assigned to do inventory, which I couldn't do inventory until an hour later because my badge wouldn't give me access to the back room where we actually go to do inventory. So I had to wait an hour to do that. So once that hour went by, I was actually the only person back there. I had to go back, and there were a bunch of headsets, laptops, desktops. There was even tablets. And the thing about it is, the CIO actually told me that they lost a Microsoft Surface laptop, and he wanted me to find it. And I'm like, okay. Like, I was thinking, how do you lose a Microsoft Surface laptop? But when I went back there, thankfully I was able to find it within like a few minutes. But I'm just trying to figure out how exactly do you lose a Microsoft Surface laptop. It was a fairly new one too, pretty expensive. So yeah, after the inventory, since it was my first day and all, that was really my final responsibility for day one. After that, we kind of I had another meeting with the rest of the help desk group, as well as some system administrators. What definitely excites me is that I'm going to be surrounded by people of a higher position than me, and that the company has a whole lot of like growth opportunities. Actually, the other new hire, there was basically two new hires that came in today. It was me and a guy named Jeff, I believe they call him. He's actually working as a contractual senior system administrator, and so having him as a friend, having him around, and learning a whole lot from him will definitely be beneficial. So me and him made friends pretty quickly, of course. And although we may not be working the same position, I know there's definitely quite a few things that he could teach me, even if he is new to the company. But after that, I pretty much packed up, went to the car, and drove home. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up my day one working as an IT help desk technician at Venture Employer Technologies. Venture Employer Services. And yeah, I figured I might as well make a video like this because I know there's not a whole lot of YouTubers out there who are taking the time to really talk about the ins and outs of the help desk position, what they do on their first day, kind of like a day in the life. I know there's a few people. I know IT Career Questions, Kev Tech, and there was this one girl I watched. I forgot her channel name, but her videos were definitely helpful. If I can remember her channel name, I would give her a shout out. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up my day one as an IT help desk technician. It was definitely interesting. I learned quite a bit, and I'm definitely excited to continue moving forward. Although as of right now, I am like very, very tired. Not because of I did too much work or anything today. It's just I didn't really get a lot of sleep last night. I was actually pretty excited for the day. That might be why. But but yeah, as usual, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave it in the comments section. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. As usual, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.